In death, I shall be stronger. Unlock other skills by death. The goddess of protection said to herself, Kim remembers the day he first fell into this world. The goddess of protection said to Lafanta Agim, Congratulations, you have been chosen as the hero who will save this world. Lafanta Agim covered his eyes from the light and said, An angel, where am I? The goddess of protection said, I am the goddess of protection. From now on I will protect you and guide you down the path you shall take. There are many things you do not yet know, but that only means you will learn many things. Lafanta Agim said, I was just in school a moment ago. The goddess of protection said, Yes, a young human sometimes commits evil deeds without knowing it. You unfortunately became prey to the beasts and fell because you could not handle it. Lafanta Agim said, I fell, and he said to himself, I remember now. The door to the school's rooftop was locked. That's why I climbed up there through a classroom window on the 5th floor. Funnily enough, when I got there, I felt more alive than ever. A person in the crowd said, Hey, look over there. Who's that? Lafanta Agim said to himself, a feeling I had never felt once in my life emerged when I actually tried to live. A girl said, Is he out of his mind? Shouldn't we do something? Lafanta Agim said to himself, Now that I want to give up, I feel so alive. They say you regret jumping the moment you've done it. Will I be the same? Lafanta Agim took off his shoes. And his phone beeped. His phone said, A text message and 36 others. Confirm. Lafanta Agim tossed his phone and said, I hope your lives turn rotten forever as well. Then he gently jumped off the ledge of the school building, sending his message to the 36 people saying, You're the one who killed me. Don't forget, it's you who killed me. The goddess of protection suddenly said, I am the goddess of protection. I have many powers: idol, compassion, prayer, sacrifice, salvation. With my powers, there's nothing you can't do. You can become anything you wish. What do you wish to be, hero? Back in the present, Kim Gongja and Sword Emperor looked ahead. A system notification said, You have entered the 50th floor through abnormal means. A system notification said, The protection of the librarian in a corner has been undone. A system notification said, The beginner protection system has been paused. A system notification said, Beginner privileges have been taken away temporarily. Kim Gongja said to himself, These are some scary warnings. Kim Gongja said, There. Sword Emperor said, For goodness sake, it's been a long time since I've been here. I feel like it's been a century and a half, but nothing's changed. Kim Gongja said to himself, It seems like the guardian ghost has been here before. I wonder if he'll act as a guide. Kim Gongja asked Sword Emperor, What are those spires? Sword Emperor said, Mage towers. Some have been here for more than 1,000 years. They're people who chose to remain here instead of continuing to climb the tower. Anyway, it's best not to approach them. Don't even look at them, actually. Kim Gongja said, Why not? Sword Emperor said, Because they can detect that you're looking at them if you stare for longer than 23 seconds. The number 23 here has the same meaning as the number 18 in your world. It's a security system that's like, What the 23 are you looking at? Kim Gongja said to himself, What the hell? The number 18 in Korean has a very similar pronunciation to the word freak in Korean. Sword Emperor said, Right. They used to have 6 towers, but I destroyed one. I'm sure they'll lose their minds once they realize I've come back as a ghost. They'll chase you to the ends of hell with all the forces they have, so hide me. Kim Gongja said to himself, He's more like a troll than a guide. A system notification said, The void venom has invaded your body. Kim Gongja looked at his hand, confused. A system notification said, The progress rate of the venom is currently at level 1. Kim Gongja said, What is this void venom? It's saying that it's invaded my body. Sword Emperor said, Right. It finally feels like I'm back here. It's a venom that spread all over the 50th floor. Apparently, the guy that used to be the ruler of this floor was really bad with his favoritism. So, the Midnight Liberation War, or whatever it was called, began. Then he died shortly after. He didn't have a nice death, so he cursed the world before dying. That curse apparently became this venom. Kim Gongja said, that's really. Sword Emperor said, Yeah. It's like the zombie virus that the constellation spread when he died in the Murim world. Kim Gongja said, What? People live here despite this being all over the floor? Sword Emperor said, Well, the guys that made it up here usually have aura, a skill, or some form of protection from their constellation. What are you doing? You should protect yourself with aura too. Kim Gongja said, What happens if I don't? Sword Emperor said, You earn a very unique appearance and mental state. Suddenly, a giant toad appeared in front of them. Kim Gongja and Sword Emperor ran away as Kim Gongja said, "What the hell is that?" Sword Emperor said, "Probably a human, like you? Well, maybe 20 years ago." As it leapt toward Kim Gongja, he ran faster. Suddenly, it dropped to the ground, shattering it. Kim Gongja flew away and said, "Freak." Kim Gongja attacked the creature with a powerful slash and said, "Is it dead?" Sword Emperor said, "Sorry, I forgot to warn you about this, but from the 50th floor onward, we enter the demonic realm. You'll be doomed most of the time if you act according to common sense. If you're scared, you can keep looking at the mage towers. If you stare at them for more than 23 seconds, they'll ask you, 'What the hell are you looking at?' If you ask for help, mages on broomsticks will come to save you. Isn't that nice?" Kim Gongja said, "What do I have to pay in return?" Sword Emperor said, "Man, you're clever. You'll have to sign a contract where you'll basically be their slave for 12 years. They'll adore you for your SSS rank skill." A man in the distance shouted, "You over there, run, over here, run this way." Sword Emperor grinned as Kim Gongja glanced at him. Kim Gongja attacked the man, prompting Sword Emperor to say, "Ooh, I'm impressed. You may be a bit naive, but you're still smart." The man continued shouting, "Run this way, hurry." As his form shifted, he became a huge monster, still repeating, "This way, hurry." Kim Gongja said, "Is this entire place like this?" Sword Emperor said, "There are exceptions, but mostly yeah." Lafanta Agim's voice echoed, "Welcome to the demonic realm, where cosmic horror dances. Do you realize now that my thought processes are very ordinary?" Lafanta Agim's voice continued in Kim Gongja's thoughts. "Bow your head, outsider. Otherwise, you will be slain with them." Lafanta Agim appeared, cutting the monsters as if they were butter. Kim Gongja said, "Even if you do that, they'll just divide and regenerate." Kim Gongja looked at the monsters in shock and said, "They didn't?" Lafanta Agim said, "To kill something using one killed by bisection, you need to cut it into 2 equal halves as its name suggests. Next." He drew his sword and effortlessly cut the monster in front of them. The monster gasped, "Run this way! Hurry!" Lafanta Agim said, "The screamer's real body is in the scream. Kill it through sound." He walked away without another word. Kim Gongja said to Sword Emperor, "Hunter." Sword Emperor said, "He didn't even age, that bastard." Kim Gongja whispered, "Lafanta Agim." As Lafanta Agim sheathed his sword, Kim Gongja said to himself, "The Constellation Killer." Lafanta Agim said, "You know me?" Kim Gongja and Lafanta Agim stared at each other silently. Kim Gongja thought, "How are his eyes like that? They're so empty." Lafanta Agim said, "Do you know me?" Kim Gongja continued to himself, "There isn't even a fragment of emotion in them, let alone any traces." The goddess of protection said, "Sparkly is touched by the reunion. However, Sparkly does not understand why its former owner betrayed it. Sparkly is considering being enraged instead of feeling touched." Lafanta Agim said, "Quite a unique sword you have there. Is it a demonic sword or an ego sword? It's best you hide any unique items you possess, outsider. There are many hyenas here who target beginners who just made it to the 50th floor for their skills and equipment." Kim Gongja, shocked and confused, showed his sword and asked, "Excuse me, do you recognize this sword?" Lafanta Agim examined it and said, I do not. It seems like it has some kind of connection to me, but I don't recall it. It would be wise to expect me not to remember old friends or events." Kim Gongja said, confused, "Sorry." Lafanta Agim said, "I am suffering from memory loss. I cannot remember anything from more than a week ago. It's dangerous for us to keep talking here. Follow me. I know a place where we can chat safely." As they walked away, voices echoed in the distance. A man said, "Look, it's the Constellation Killer." Another muttered, "What the hell is he gonna do now?" A lizard hissed, "Are the spiders of the Mage Tower gonna be good today?" His friend whispered, "Shh, it's best not to get involved with that guy." Multiple system notifications appeared. Kim Gongja thought, "Constellations. I've never felt the presence of so many constellations at once." Lafanta Agim said, "Annoying. Screw off, all of you. If there is a constellation that continues to annoy me any further, I will find and kill their apostles." He turned to Kim Gongja and said, "I think some of them are interested in you. Tell me, outsider, have you done something to the constellations?" Kim Gongja said, "I did kill one apostle of the warhorse of the eternal plains." Lafanta Agim took out a notebook and said, "Maho's apostle?" Kim Gongja thought, "A notebook." Lafanta Agim scanned through his notes and said, "Not bad. Maho's apostles are all exceptionally talented. They have quite a troublesome blessing as well. It couldn't have been easy. How did you manage it?" Kim Gongja said, "There is something I have to tell you about that." Lafanta Agim said, "That can wait. We're here." Kim Gongja asked, Is this the safe place you mentioned? Lafanta Egim said, in here, there is no wall to restrict our vision. He sat down and continued, we'll be able to fall back even if we are ambushed at any moment. There is no risk of the enemy taking down the entire building to trap us in either, although it would be easy to snipe us. Owner, the usual. The bald owner placed a drink on the table and said, hey, do you know that we've only been an open-air bar like this because you were the one who blew up the building? Lafanta Egim replied, sorry, I do not remember. The bald man whispered to Kim Gong-ja, young man, I don't know what business you have with him, but just know that there are more than 600 guys around here who want to kill him. I would suggest not getting yourself involved with him any further, unless you have a death wish. Lafanta Egim interjected, it's actually 1,127. However, only 3 of them pose an actual threat to me. One of the 3 went missing 154 years ago, it seems. In other words, it's safer for the outsider to be involved with me than to stay away from me. The bald owner muttered as he walked away. Crazy bastard. Lafanta Egim turned to Kim Gong-ja and said, so, what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? Kim Gong-ja held his glass of water tightly and said, I'm a bit taken aback that you're suffering from memory loss. But I wanted to ask if you know about the Egim Empire you established long ago. That nation almost fell because of you. When you sealed away the goddess of protection, it gave the demon king of autumn rain a chance to grow stronger. In the empty places where you killed constellations, only despair remains. In a world called Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon, the entire place is now a wasteland because of the curse left behind by the dead constellation. Another world, Samhain Academy story, was invaded by other constellations after the former one died. And Laviel Evancia, in that world. My wife, she became a constellation because of the fragment of the holy sword of protection that she inherited. Lafanta Egim nodded and said, I see. Thanks for telling me. I can confirm what you said is true, as I have cross-verified it with the contents of my journal. Kim Gong-ja, confused, asked, your journal? Lafanta Egim revealed a notebook and said, this is where I store all my memories. It might seem like an ordinary notebook, but it's actually a holy relic of a constellation called the Great Puppy. It has infinite pages and even a search feature. I write down everything I do here every day. Thanks to this, I have not lost myself despite the memory loss. Kim Gong-ja stared as Lafanta Egim continued. As you said, in the past, I did establish a nation called the Egim Empire. In that empire, I sealed away the constellation Goddess of Protection, who was with me all my life. The world you mentioned, called Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon, aligns with the description of the world I recorded on page 236. It's where I killed the yellow dragon of the Great Lake. This Samhain Academy story corresponds to the entry I made on page 3215. Did you say that the fragment of the Goddess of Protection, the prayer sword, was passed down as a family heirloom? Kim Gong-ja muttered to himself. Yes. Lafanta Egim said, ah, that explains why. There was a time when I shared a bed with a woman in that world. I believe this Laviel Evancia you mentioned is a distant descendant of both that woman and me. You might possess skills similar to historian or trauma peeping, but you cannot use them on me, as I do not have the past in my head in the first place. Furthermore, there is no possibility that you could have stolen this relic to read it, since it's written in a code only I know. In conclusion, outsider, I acknowledge that what you've said so far is the truth. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, I came here to make you pay for your past sins. Lafanta Egim said, so, what reward do you want from me? Kim Gong-ja said to himself, countless innocent people were sacrificed at the hands of your petty beliefs. But what is this? Kim Gong-ja, startled, asked, what? Reward? Lafanta Egim said, a reward for pointing out my wrongdoings. Kim Gong-ja pressed, and you are aware of what you have done wrong? Lafanta Egim replied, of course. I made 2 mistakes. First, I failed to consider the possibility that a new constellation might take the place of a dead one. Second, I underestimated the fact that a dead constellation can curse a world. Is that all? Kim Gong-ja crushed his glass of water in anger. Lafanta Egim said, it was intentional that other constellations would invade a world where one had died. That just meant I would have to kill those invaders, which would only help me decrease their numbers. He scribbled in his journal and continued, therefore, those 2 are my only wrongdoings. I've written it all down. Such errors will not happen again. I want to reward you as a token of gratitude for this advice you've given me. Advice? Gratitude? Kim Gong-ja's voice rose. The innocent people who lived in Jianggu died. They became Jiangshis. The goddess of protection flinched as Kim Gong-ja continued. There was an old man who died on a ship alone in the waters because he did not want to burden anyone else in his death. There was a child who helped the other kids survive. Each one of them suffered a terrible death. Let me ask you something, Constellation Killer. What do you think about that? Lafanta Agim, with a straight face, said, Nothing. Like I said, it's definitely my error that I didn't consider the consequences of killing a constellation. However, mistakes happen. I can only reward you for telling me the error in my ways. Kim Gongja grinned in anger, his frustration barely contained. Kim Gongja said, Then what if I were to say that the reward I want is for you to die by my hand? Lafanta Agim replied, That is a reward I am unable to give you. I have a duty to eliminate all constellations. I must keep working until I have fulfilled that role. Kim Gongja retorted, How greedy. Why is it even your duty in the first place? Lafanta Agim said, I cannot answer that. Kim Gongja pressed, I thought you would say that. Why? Is it because you think I wouldn't understand the reasoning behind your noble duty? Lafanta Agim said, I cannot answer that either. Kim Gongja said, Then can you at least answer this? If you need to eliminate all constellations, why are you using a constellation's holy relic? It doesn't really make sense, does it? Lafanta Agim said, I can answer that question. I intend to destroy it after getting rid of all constellations first. Kim Gongja countered, What about the fact that another will appear to take the spot of the dead constellation? Lafanta Agim said, I have thought of something for that, but I cannot tell you. This conversation is dragging on too long. I cannot die, as I have already said. My duty has yet to be accomplished. Kim Gongja put his dagger back into his pouch and took out the handkerchief that the Lady of the Silver Lily, Raviel Ivancia, had given him. Lafanta Agim continued, So tell me another reward that you want. Kim Gongja smelled the handkerchief and said, Phew. All right, then do me a favor. Lafanta Agim asked what? Kim Gongja said, Protect me no matter what happens, as long as I am on the 50th floor. I'm not asking you to just keep me alive. Protect me from injuries, whether physical or mental. Of course, you can't try to loop around it by kicking me out of the 50th floor. Lafanta Agim said, You want me to act as your bodyguard? Kim Gongja said, Something like that. Lafanta Agim said, I don't know what you're thinking. According to our conversation so far, you value justice. Not only that, you possess wisdom and martial prowess. The suggestion you have just made does not align with your personality. Kim Gongja smirked and said, Aha, does that mean you can't do it? He continued, You won't die. You won't give up on your duty. Now you can't even protect me while I'm on the 50th floor? Amazing. What can you even do as a reward for me then? Lafanta Agim said, I am just considering the possibility of a trap in your suggestion. Kim Gongja said, What if there is a trap? You seem pretty confident in your skills. I'm sure you can get out of it even if there was one. Lafanta Agim stared at Kim Gongja for a moment and then said, All right, I'll record your suggestion on page 1. That will dictate my actions. Kim Gongja thought to himself, he fell for it. He then said to the Sword Emperor, Sword Emperor. The Sword Emperor replied, Huh. Kim Gongja asked, You said you destroyed one of those mage towers 150 years ago, right? The Sword Emperor rubbed his chin and said, Yep. It's one of the top 6 things I'm most proud of. Kim Gongja asked, What did you say while destroying it? Do you remember? The Sword Emperor grinned. Oh, of course. As he reminisced, he said, Back then I yelled, Hey, dumbasses! You got to refresh the air inside the building sometimes. It's not good to stay inside every day, all day. I'm feeling nice. I'll give you a free remodeling service today. In the present, the Sword Emperor added, Why? What are you planning to do? Kim Gongja remained silent, looking into the distance. The Sword Emperor nudged him. Hey, zombie. I told you not to look over there. They're going to know if you look for more than 23 seconds. You can't beat those guys at your level right now. Or what? Are you planning to have them kill the Constellation Killer? Even those guys won't attack him. Huh? Hey, Kim Zombie, turn away. Suddenly, a voice echoed. Microphone test. Who are you over there looking at us? You seem like a noob too. I'll be nice this time since it's your first time. If you want to live in peace here, turn away. You might die otherwise. Kim Gongja smirked and shouted, Hey, dumbasses. The voice responded, Huh? Don't you even value your life? What the hell are you? Kim Gongja cut them off. You've got to refresh the air inside the building sometimes. It's not good to stay inside every day, all day. I'm feeling nice. I'll give you a free remodeling service today. Ha ha! The Sword Emperor shouted, Are you out of your damn mind? As he spoke, multiple eyes turned toward them, and a woman screamed, Sword Emperor, you're back. I knew you'd return someday. Even when everyone was saying you were dead, I never believed it. Are you possessing someone? Have you been reincarnated? No matter, we will kill you. Kim Gongja stood silently with a smile and turned to Lafanta Agim. You promised, right? Protect me. Lafanta Agim said, I see. I have understood the logic behind your actions. You brought in external forces after deciding that you alone wouldn't be enough to defeat me. I thought it wouldn't be possible for a beginner who just arrived on the 50th floor to gather support. But I was mistaken. I must consider this possibility the next time I encounter a beginner. In the chaos, a man shouted, Shit! Run! Transmit! Another yelled, Did all those spiders take drugs together or what? The bald owner added, Hey, Constellation Killer, I'm putting the remodeling fees on your tab again, so don't forget about it, write it down, and pay for the scrolls too. Lafanta Agim replied calmly, Understood. I have written it down. As promised, I will do my best to protect the outsider. He closed his notebook and added, Vision and hearing optimized. Kim Gongja turned to see a massive fireball in the sky. Lafanta Agim said, In return, I will discard an hour's worth of my memories. He stepped forward, grabbing Kim Gongja and pulling him away. Kim Gongja thought to himself, It feels like we're just walking slowly. The lady maid shouted in frustration, Hey, you sadistic constellation, what are you doing here? Get lost. The guy with you is someone we need to take revenge on. If you don't want to make an enemy out of us, leave now. Lafanta Agim said, I request that we resolve this through conversation. The lady mage snapped, Conversation, my ass! Get lost, you lunatic! Lafanta Agim replied, I must protect this outsider no matter what. That includes his physical and mental well-being. There is no negotiation on this. Scanning his journal, he continued, According to the records, the Mage Tower is a very selfish organization. They may be persuaded if I utilize that. I'm someone who can cause serious damage on your end. Negotiate with me. The lady mage turned to her companion. Can someone tell me how much memory he has right now? A voice from her team replied, Monitoring Teams Hong Bosuk reporting. The Constellation Killer currently has 7 days worth of memories. The lady mage cursed. It just had to be a week. No matter, kill them both. From this point onward, the Mage Tower declares war. All 5 fingers hunt the Constellation Killer and the Sword Emperor. Lafanta Agim said, The negotiation is null then. Search, Mage Tower. Subsearch, battle. Detailed search, how to destroy. He scanned his journal, tied up his long silver hair, and declared, I am entering battle. The lady mage ordered, Leaders, surround them. Singers, sing from the back lines. A young mage saluted, Yes, ma'am. The Sword Emperor observed, Oh, I haven't seen that one in a while. That's the star-resembling singing. Kim Gongja asked, Star-resembling singing? The Sword Emperor explained, See how there are 5 towers? There's one constellation sealed under each tower. They're basically imprisoned. The Mage Tower uses their powers in the form of a song. A system notification appeared. Warning, you have been set as the target of the attack. Warning, the force of your aura has been halved. Warning, the force of your magic spells has been halved. Warning, the force of your psychological defense has been halved. Warning, penalties of all types have been doubled. The Sword Emperor muttered, As you can see, its effects are overpowered. That's called the spider web. That's why people call them spiders. Lafanta Agim calmly said, Ultimate attack, reinforce. In return, I will throw away my memories of how beautiful sunsets are. The mages shouted, recover! Recuperate! Fall back! A system notification appeared. The penalty effects have been eradicated. Lafanta Agim said, Ultimate attack, reinforce. In return, I will throw away my memories of the sound of rain. The mages screamed in pain. Kuh! The lady mage growled. Thumb ring destroyed. Pointer finger circle destroyed. It's difficult to maintain position. That lunatic. Psychopath. Constellation sadist. Her ally reported, Ma'am, we can't put up a fight against the Constellation Killer if he has a full week's worth of memories. The lady mage roared, Shut up and attack. Charge. Ultimate attack. Reinforce. As multiple spells shot toward Lafanta Agim, he stood resolute, his silver hair glowing in the chaotic light. With a swift motion, Lafanta Agim instantly cut down all the mages. A mage frantically reported, Middle finger ring destroyed. Ring finger ring destroyed. Pinky finger ring destroyed. The spell has been completely nullified, ma'am. Lafanta Agim calmly said, I will throw away my memories of the drink I just had. One of the mages screamed, He's targeting all the weak points of the rings. Which traitor sold our secrets? Lafanta Agim added, I will throw away my memories of the street I walked yesterday. I will throw away my memories of how it felt. The Sword Emperor observed, How is it? He fights completely differently from how you fight, doesn't he? The techniques he's using are also a type of demonic art. The demonic heaven divine art you use is reliant on memory, memories of hunger, isolation. It's the opposite for the constellation killer, who discards memories instead. Watch closely. Someday you'll have to fight like that too. Lafanta Agim muttered, I will throw away my memories of walks under the warm sky. The Sword Emperor continued, the constellation killer has at most a week's worth of memories, or as little as a single day. He doesn't let himself keep any more because, as soon as he accumulates a week's worth, he goes on a hunt to kill a constellation. In essence, he only needs a week of memories to take down a constellation. Memory loss disorder? Not exactly. He's sacrificing his memories to fulfill his duty. The goddess of protection interjected. Sparkly cannot bear to watch its former owner fight. Sparkly is reminiscing. He didn't used to fight like this in the past. Sparkly does not understand when and why he began fighting this way. A young mage stammered, Ma'am, I told you. We don't stand a chance against the constellation killer when he has a full week of memories. If we waste any more mana now, we'll suffer immense losses. The monitoring team has reported that the constellations are noticing something's wrong. They might invade while we're vulnerable. The lady mage gripped her magic hat tighter in frustration. R. She turned her glare toward the Sword Emperor. Sword Emperor, Sword Emperor, Sword Emperor. The Sword Emperor chuckled. Goodness, I'm still popular even after my death, huh? See, zombie? This is why being too popular can be a problem. The lady mage snarled. So you formed an alliance with the constellation killer. Just you wait, we will hunt you down no matter what it takes. This fight is over, but next time, we will kill you. Lafanta Agim turned to Kim Gongja. I have kept my promise to you, outsider. But based on my observations, I've fallen into your trap. I may have won the battle, but I only have a day's worth of memories now. Weakening me must have been your intention. The Sword Emperor warned, don't fall for it. He's just stalling for time. Lafanta Agim replied, you're right, I intend to kill you. However, I cannot attack you as promised. What a dangerous situation we're in. If you truly are the Sword Emperor or his successor, as the Mage Tower Master claimed, then this situation is especially precarious. Kim Gongja stepped forward. My name is Death Sovereign. I am the successor to the demonic cult and a member of the Avancia household. Lafanta Agim asked, what is the demonic cult? Kim Gongja answered, a sword that responds to all screams. What is the successor? A sword that is wielded first. What is the Death Sovereign? The name of the person who will kill you. Lafanta Agim tilted his head slightly. Death Sovereign, do you recall the days when you were hungry? It is written in my diary, but I have no memory of feeling hunger myself. Kim Gongja's gaze sharpened. That will be the cause of your downfall. Without another word, he charged forward, his blade glinting in the light as he aimed for Lafanta Agim. In a different timeline, the goddess of protection said to Lafanta Agim, are you awake? Lafanta Agim said, where am I? The goddess of protection said, you have been fighting until just a moment ago. You fell for your enemy's trap. You were ambushed and at a great disadvantage, so you used the salvation sword for the first time. Lafanta Agim said, salvation. The goddess of protection said, yes, a power that saves you in return for something you give up. You threw away a part of your name. The goddess of protection thought to herself. That's when Kim realized what the gaps in his memories truly meant. Lafanta Agim said, I see. Yes, that's right. The goddess of protection thought to herself, he threw away a part of his name forever. In return, he received this scene in front of him. His enemy had been evaporated without a trace, and he managed to survive a situation that should have been impossible to escape. He was surprised to know that his name had such value. Lafanta Agim said, that's pretty nice. The goddess of protection thought to herself, for such a miracle to occur just from throwing away a part of his name. However, it wasn't just his name that was worthless to Kim. Lafanta Agim said, Hui. The goddess of protection said, yes, hero? She thought to herself his entire life before coming to this world was meaningless to him. Lafanta Agim said, I'll be able to save this world faster than I had imagined. Before that, let's make a new name for myself. Agim, Lafanta Agim, human of the wastelands. He is the sword that slays the stars in the heavens. He shall be admired. In the present, Kim Gongja was about to attack Lafanta Agim. As he made a slash, he thought to himself, generally speaking, starvation is the desperate hands of a child digging into the dirt. Lafanta Agim looked at Kim Gongja and said, maximize senses. I will throw away 1 hour. As he managed to cancel Kim Gongja's attacks, Lafanta Agim said, is this a martial technique using aura as your internal energy? It is said that a traditional martial artist obsesses over internal energy circulation techniques. He flipped his notebook and continued, I would assume that you learned this technique not in the orthodox Muram but rather in the unorthodox. I also assume this demonic cult that you mentioned is a part of the unorthodox Muram. Kim Gong-ja said, for a man who died of starvation because he could not drink the ocean water, the world was a desert. He used his skill, demonic heaven divine art, second form, sword of forethirst, as he struck the sand. Lafanta Agim said, this kind of fight is not good, Death Sovereign. You are a person who values justice. If your justice is built on logic, you would not harm M. Kim Gong-ja interrupted. Baraya. As his sword swung, he said, Baraya, Aga Baraya. He then used his skill, demonic heaven divine art, third form, sword of asphyxiation. Lafanta Agim said, reinforce interception, throw away the smell of the ocean. As they exchanged blows, Kim Gong-ja shouted, how long do you think you can stand against me? Lafanta Agim said, as long as I live. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, I get it now. This man is one of the endings I could have reached. A hero who has mastered the demonic arts to their ultimate limit. He used his skill, demonic heaven divine art, fourth form, sword of frostbite. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, 150 years ago, my guardian ghost met this man. That is why he had been so mad back then. As Kim Gong-ja remembered what the Sword Emperor had said, I will teach him how to be happy. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, the guardian ghost knew what would happen to a man who only knew how to throw himself away. If I didn't have the guardian ghost by my side, if I had not met Lavielle, and if I had believed that my memories were so worthless that I did not mind sacrificing them. Throw away my memories of both warm and cold breezes, Kim Gong-ja said. You mentioned justice, he shouted. Lafanta Agim said, I did. Kim Gong-ja demanded, then what is your justice? He used his skill, demonic heaven divine art, fifth form. Lafanta Agim said, it's to eradicate the constellations. As his sword bubbled up, he said, blub, blub. Then he used his skill, sword of poison death strike. Kim Gong-ja said, why? As Lafanta Agim's sword bubbled. Lafanta Agim said, a constellation is a being that takes the freedom of choice away from humans. Good is based on human freedom. Accordingly, constellations are evil since they intervene in human freedom. You said that you defeated a constellation called the Undying Evangelist of Happiness. The humans in that constellation's world would have been forced to live in joy. Under the hooves of the warhorse of the eternal plains, the world becomes a battlefield. There is no room for human freedom there. Kim Gong-ja said, then what are you? Lafanta Agim said, throw away the scent of every flower. Kim Gong-ja shouted, you're just doing what your journal tells you to. Where is the freedom in that? Lafanta Agim said, good point. I would answer that if one person can sacrifice their freedom to preserve everyone else's, then it is only right that they do so. I came to that conclusion of my own free will. Therefore, Kim Gong-ja shouted, bullshit. There's no point even if you smell flowers, look at sunsets, drink, eat, or feel the wind for a week. Kim Gong-ja used his skill. Demonic heaven divine art, sixth form, sword of disease. Kim Gong-ja said, you throw it all away, over and over. Lafanta Agim said, the constellations have an evil influence on the world. They infect the humans with their minds. Within it, the humans become one. There is no other choice. I am killing the constellations to give humans the freedom of choice. Kim Gong-ja said I am, asking you, how is what they're doing any different from what you're doing? Lafanta Agim said, throw away all my dreams from this week. Throw away the pain of injury. Throw away the scenery of the mornings, night, as he flipped the pages. Kim Gong-ja said, you're just following what's written in the journal. The constellations are better. They at least know what they're doing. You're just acting based on the text written on the pages. You're not the one who ends the constellations in the heavens. Constellation finisher. You're the constellation that ends the heavens. As Lafanta Agim as the heaven-finishing constellation, Kim Gong-ja said, if ending constellations is your only duty and calling, then finish yourself at first. Kim Gong-ja used his skill, demonic heaven divine art, ninth form, sword of end. Kim Gong-ja landed a hit on Lafanta Agim as the pages of his notebook flies. Kim Gong-ja looks at him seriously. Lafanta Agim said, throw away 1 second. Throw away 1 second. Throw away 1 second. Kim Gong-ja followed up with another stab, pinning Lafanta Agim to the ground. Kim Gong-ja said, Lafanta Agim, I am reaping your screams. Lafanta Agim said, throw away. As Kim Gong-ja ended Lafanta Agim, a system notification appeared. Shocked by the death of the constellation killer, the Eye of the Labyrinth is wary of you because of this unbelievable situation. The warhorse of the Eternal Plains is expressing shock at the death of the constellation killer. Your existence has been strengthened. Skill slots have been expanded. Your hunter rank is now B rank. May luck be on your side. Kim Gong-ja stood up. The mage was shocked and confused. What? Wait, the constellation killer died? Another person said, you're kidding. His friend said, the constellation killer? A girl asked, who's that? Her friend said, I think someone called him the Sword Emperor. Who's that? That crazy bastard was reincarnated. Kim Gong-ja carried the body of Lafanta Agim. He thought to himself, this is dangerous. I better get out of here before I receive more attention. Every single one of these guys probably has a higher level than me. I can't tell when they might ambush me once they realize I'm weaker than them. Kim Gong-ja said, transmit. As the others stared at Kim Gong-ja, he stopped walking, confused. He said again, transmit. He thought to himself, why is it not working? Now that I think about it, I didn't get the notification saying the stage has been cleared. The constellation killer is definitely dead. So why? What more am I supposed to do? Is it not enough to just kill the constellation killer? Is it because he isn't the owner of the 50th floor? A person asked, what's up with him? He's just standing there. A mage said, wait, my observation skills are telling me that his level is B rank. Kim Gong-ja began to sweat as another person said, B rank? Are you sure this isn't some sort of deceit? The constellation killer is at least S rank. There's no way he died to a B rank. Another person shouted, hey, someone talk to him. Is there no one here who was active while the Sword Emperor was alive? Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, this is bad. I'm missing something. The Sword Emperor said, what are you looking at me for? Kim Gong-ja said, be honest. You know something, don't you? The Sword Emperor said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've already given you all the advice I could. Kim Gong-ja thought that silver-haired guy, he was definitely the constellation killer. The Sword Emperor said, I had a proper fight with him. He was strong, but he wasn't strong enough to beat me. Kim Gong-ja thought he won too. Kim Gong-ja said, there's no way someone like you would have spared him. Sword Emperor, you're one crazy person, but you uphold honor when it comes to martial arts and the sword. My master was a kind person. But even then, you said he was representative of the demonic cult's evil doctrines and still slayed him. So, there's no way you wouldn't have killed the constellation killer when he's done much worse things than my master. The Sword Emperor smirked. Heh, this is why I like you. You need to be smart in order to be a hunter. Heh. When it comes to that, there are 3 qualities to look for: the intelligence to think of ways to overcome any situation, the courage to carry out that plan, and the ability to succeed with that plan. The constellation killer is a hunter, just like you. Lafanta Agim said, reinforce ultimate attack. Throw away the memories of a white flower I saw on the way here. As he attacked Kim Gong-ja, Lafanta Agim continued, I saw a man tending to a flower pot on the way here. The flower pot was small. The man's life was old and small as well, so I felt that his life could fit in that flower pot. I looked at the flower pot containing that old man's life for a while. If life could be contained anywhere, whether it's this flower pot or something else, then that is what I believe beauty is. Reinforce ultimate attack. Throw away my memories of the old man and the flower pot. A system notification appeared. The lonely truth seeker is overjoyed. The eye of the labyrinth is observing the situation. The warhorse of the eternal plains gives up trying to attack you, a man said. Constellation killer. I will, Lafanta Agim continued. I overheard people whispering in some alleyway. I could not tell what they were saying, nor could I write it off as white noise as I wanted to know about it. Something you cannot understand, yet desperately yearn to comprehend. I thought that was what beauty was. I thought the sounds in the alleyway were beautiful. I stepped on the earth as I walked. The ground felt hard. Good. I wondered if people would be kinder if they walked the earth barefoot, but that leaves you vulnerable to things like pieces of glass. A man who walks barefoot may be good, but in pain. Amongst you is someone who killed me. The most likely one would be the man who was carrying my body. The last time my death occurred was 153 years, 7 months, and 2 days ago. The hunter who killed me in the past, the Sword Emperor, was definitely more skilled than me. Because of that, I wrote on page 2 that I should run if I am to be killed by a stronger opponent. This is a lesson I learned after 3 fights and 3 deaths against the Sword Emperor. You dodged my 2 ultimate attacks. However, if you were a martial artist on the Sword Emperor's level, you would have counterattacked as soon as you dodged them. The Sword Emperor called his martial realm the all-seeing sword. You are not on that realm. It is hard to guess why I was killed by someone like you. It must mean that you are smart enough to turn the tables in your favor. A hunter who is smarter than me is dangerous. If you become stronger than me, you might become a hunter comparable to the Sword Emperor, a human weapon. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself. He prepared for a potential death. Lafanta Egim continued, I judge that you are not someone whom I can just leave alone. I will eradicate you. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, by creating an extra body. The Sword Emperor said, welcome, as Lafanta Egim tied his hair into a ponytail. The Sword Emperor grinned. This is what it's like on the 50th floor and onwards. Kim Gong-ja cursed. Damn it, a doll that's a copy of himself? The Constellation Killer is, basically, a combat weapon. Lafanta Egim said, there were no witnesses in my fights against the Sword Emperor other than one constellation. That is because the Sword Emperor considered battles a sacred thing. He called it a duel. However, this death had many witnesses. It'd be difficult to kill them all. The Lady Mage, frustrated, muttered, crazy fucker. Lafanta Egim declared, so listen, this is for those who consider me an enemy, and for those who will consider me an enemy. I have obtained immortality. Even if you kill me now, I will stand in front of you again. I vow to kill anyone who kills me. And if it is an organization that kills me, I will eradicate that entire organization. I will kill you here to emphasize that my announcement is true. Reinforce ultimate attack. Throw away all the beauty of the world. Kim Gong-ja looked at the sword and thought to himself, it's me. The me who did not meet La Vielle, eyes void of fear, willing to sacrifice anything for conviction. In his memory, La Vielle's voice echoed, do not kill yourself without my permission. Even if you feel like you cannot avoid death, struggle until the very last moment. As Kim Gong-ja was struck by Lafanta Egim's sword, he shouted in pain and thought to himself, I admit it, you're a monster, you're stronger than me, you're just as cautious as I am. However, you're not the only one with second chances, Lafanta Egim. Kim Gong-ja smirked and grabbed Lafanta Egim's arm. As Kim Gong-ja fell, a system notification appeared, you have died. Your current hunter rank is B. The skill activation order will change due to reinforced penalties. Warning, reenacting the trauma of the foe who killed you. Extracting the materials needed for the reenactment from your memories. Penalty level is high. Animal realm. Kim Gong-ja silently fell. In a different scene at a classroom, the announcer's voice echoed. Announcement to students still on campus. Those who will not be attending night studies are asked to leave the campus. I repeat, there have been witnesses of students staying behind even after school hours. Please leave the campus if you have not signed up for the evening study program. Kim Gong-ja was shocked. He thought to himself, what? Suddenly the cult interrogator said, hey, get up. They're telling us to go home. Aha, it's not good for you to sleep in that position. It's almost time for the midterms, so I'm sure you're studying hard, but it'd be much better to sleep at home. Kim Gong-ja, confused, muttered, cult interrogator? The cult interrogator blinked. Huh? Cult interrogator? Kim Gong-ja slammed the table and stood up. Or are you Lady Golden Flower? Have you possessed the cult interrogator again? The cult interrogator, still confused, asked, possess? Are you still dazed from a dream? Kim Gong-ja frowned. This isn't good, Sword Emperor. I think something went wrong with the penalty when my hunter level went up. It used to be different before. I would see others' trauma like I was dreaming. His eyes widened. Sword Emperor. From outside, students' voices echoed, pass! Kim Gong-ja turned his head sharply. Hey, Sword Emperor, a student shouted, go! The cult interrogator sighed. Now, let's go home. I'm sure the student council president is waiting at the gates again. You shouldn't make your girlfriend angry. Kim Gong-ja tensed. It's begun. A trauma within a different trauma. A few moments later, the cult interrogator pushed Kim Gong-ja out of the classroom. Hurry, hurry. You should treat your girlfriend like a princess. You shouldn't make her wait. You're the protagonist of a romance that will go down in this school's history. Kim Gong-ja muttered. What the hell is going on? The cult interrogator grinned. I'm sure the student council president is waiting at the gates again. You shouldn't make your girlfriend angry. As he walked through the halls, Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, school. I did go to middle school for, 2 years. This place seems pretty similar to that. To get outside, Kim Gong-ja noticed a boy standing alone at the rooftop door. The boy turned his head slightly and glanced at him. Their eyes met. Kim Gong-ja flinched as the boy bowed slightly and walked away without a word. Whatever. Shaking his head, he left. At the school gate, Raviella Vanzia stood there, her silver hair catching the golden hues of sunset. She looked at him with cool eyes. You're a bit late today. Kim Gong-ja's breath hitched. His face flushed. He took an involuntary step back. Ravielle smiled faintly. It's a nice evening. The sunset looks even better with your face beneath it. Kim Gong-ja was frozen, unable to close his mouth. Ravielle reached out. her fingers gently cupping his chin, and closed his mouth for him. Perhaps the sunset glows red to hide the red on your cheeks. In the distance, students whispered, "Look over there, that guy. Ah, the one who confessed his love in front of everyone at the festival? I heard she's really rich. Look at that car. I'm so envious." Kim Gong-ja's mind was spinning. What the hell is this insane trauma? Raviel tilted her head. What's wrong? I do like that stupid look of yours, but you seem more confused than usual. Are you trying to appeal to me? Kim Gong-ja blurted out. You were the daughter of a wealthy family? His thoughts raced. Trying to show me? Raviel let out an elegant laugh. You're being strange, my beloved boyfriend. Kim Gong-ja's heart stopped. Boyfriend? Raviel chuckled. I've always been part of a wealthy family. In fact, I still am. Kim Gong-ja's thoughts were in chaos. Raviel just called me her boyfriend. What should I do? Record it? Take a video? Is there even a gadget that'll allow me to transport the video to reality? What the hell are scientists even doing? Trying to calm his pounding heart, he asked, Raviel, sorry, but how old are you? Raviel gave him a curious look. I'm in my second year of high school. Kim Gong-ja swallowed. What about me? Raviel turned to her butler. Make an appointment at the psychiatric hospital. It seems like my boyfriend is suffering from light amnesia. Then she added casually, You're the same age as me, of course. Kim Gong-ja's legs wobbled. Ah, dating Raviel while I'm in high school. What a great blessing. I'm the happiest man in the world. Raviel sighed. Butler canceled the appointment. He's the same as usual. Kim Gong-ja took a deep breath and smiled. I love you, Raviel. Even if I were born in another world again, I loved you in my past life and I love you in this life. To me, love will be spelled with the letters of your name. Raviel smirked. However, we do have a life to live. Get in. I'll give you a ride home. Kim Gong-ja hesitated. Home. Then a realization hit him like a tidal wave. My home. No, it can't be that. This world of trauma is definitely different from reality. Raviel gestured to her butler. Take us to his house. Kim Gong-ja gulped. I've never been to high school. I've never heard of this specific high school either. So, where are we going? Raviel Ivancia glanced at Kim Gong-ja as their car moved smoothly down the road. I heard that something big happened at your house yesterday. Kim Gong-ja blinked. Something big? Raviel studied his face. Do you not consider what happened a big deal? She sighed. Well, you never like to bring that topic up. Of course, I don't like them either. But family is family. Family, Raviel continued. I took care of things on my own, so tell your parents not to worry. Kim Gong-ja stiffened. My parents, Raviel corrected herself. No, I should tell them myself. Kim Gong-ja's heartbeat quickened. I have a home, and parents in this world? Kim Gong-ja's home. When the car pulled up, Kim Gong-ja stared at the house in front of him. I can't even guess what that'd be like. Before he could step inside, a voice boomed. You're home? A man was sweeping the ground with a broom, but not just sweeping, he was mastering it. His stance as sharp as a sword technique. The manliest man, the sword emperor. He clicked his tongue. Kya, your girlfriend gave you a ride home. Life must be nice. With a smirk, he puffed out his chest. You should thank me for your good looks. Kim Gong-ja froze. What? Raviel stepped forward gracefully and bowed. How have you been, sir? Kim Gong-ja felt his jaw drop. She just bowed to him? The sword emperor's face turned red and he flailed his hands. Goodness, don't bow down to someone like me, miss. Then he crossed his arms and squinted at Kim Gong-ja. Does my son behave well with you? Kim Gong-ja nearly choked. Son? He's kind, but he's a bit cuckoo in the head sometimes. Raviel smiled. It's all right. I value all sides of him. The sword emperor clapped his hands together, beaming. You're such a kind girl. Then his expression flipped. His eyes darkened. His voice dropped into a growl. Hey, you fucker. Bow down to her right now. Kim Gong-ja flinched. If you treat her wrong in any manner, I'm erasing you from the family register. Then, just as suddenly, he turned back to Raviel with a bright smile. Oh, do you want to stay over for dinner? I made some cockle salad. It's really good. Raviel nodded. Sure, if you don't mind. The sword emperor laughed heartily. Haha, you're such a nice person. Then he turned back to Kim Gong-ja and shouted, What the hell are you doing, Gong-ja? Why are you still standing? Do you need help getting down on the ground? Inside the home, So Bakyang sat at the dining table, reading a newspaper. Without looking up, she said, Welcome, Gong-ja. Then she turned a page. How was school today, son? Kim Gong-ja's entire body tensed. His bag slipped from his fingers and thudded against the floor. What? So Bakyang glanced at Raviel. I see you've brought your partner home. Welcome, Miss Ivancia. Lavielle smiled. Please call me Lavielle, ma'am. I'd feel much better. Kim Gongja's mind reeled. She's my mom? So Baekyang hummed. Is that so? All right. It's hard to understand kids these days. The Sword Emperor snorted. You're so daft, babe. You think Gongja invited her in? He pointed proudly at himself. I seduced her with my cockle salad. Kim Gongja's eyes twitched. Babe? So Baekyang sighed and glanced at him. Aha, you're right, honey. We shouldn't expect such boldness from our son. Kim Gongja's brain short-circuited. Honey? The Sword Emperor suddenly clapped his hands together. I also just finished the miso soup. On the television, a news anchor spoke, her voice serious. Next up, regarding the popular singer Yoo Soo-ha. Kim Gongja's ears perked up. Yoo Soo-ha. The screen shifted to footage. The following clip is of Yoo Soo-ha's assault incident. However, we just received intel this morning that this video was faked. Kim Gongja's breath hitched. Shockingly, it was a confession from the creator of the video. The creator confessed that they made it as a joke and that they did not know it'd be this big of a deal. However, the tour of Yoo Soo-ha's group has already been canceled, and he won't be able to do much for the foreseeable future. Kim Gongja felt a chill crawl up his spine. At the dining table, So Baekyang sighed. Ha! Looks like there's a lot to talk about at dinner. Then she turned to him. Gongja, bring your brother. Let's all eat together. Kim Gongja's stomach dropped. His throat felt dry. Where is he? So Baekyang sipped her tea. In your room. Kim Gongja turned his head toward his bedroom door. A heavy silence filled the air. Slowly, carefully, he stepped toward it. His hands trembled as he reached for the knob. He gently pushed the door open. A dim light illuminated the room. He peeked inside, and his heart stopped. A figure sat on his bed. Dark hair, cold eyes, a familiar smirk. Kim Gongja's body locked up as an icy jolt ran down his spine. The figure leaned forward, resting his arms on his knees. Then with a slow, wicked grin, he said, Long time no fucking see. Yoo Soo-ha, while lying on Kim Gongja's bed, said, Hey, did you see the news? I'm totally screwed. All I did was hit my stalker once because he was pissing me off, but somehow it got recorded. That almost put me into retirement, dude. For fuck's sake, good thing he tucked his tail and ran. Phew, mom's gonna beat my ass. He looked at Kim Gongja while getting chips all over the bed and said, Huh? Are you okay? You don't look good, dude. Kim Gongja, filled with anger, shouted, Die, you fucker, and assaulted Yoo Soo-ha. Yoo Soo-ha stammered, Are you out of your damn mind? Hey, calm down. Kim Gongja yelled, How can I calm down when you're calling my master mom? As he choked Yoo Soo-ha, he shouted, D. Yoo Soo-ha screamed, Mom, Gongja's beating me up. Kim Gongja, still furious, shouted, Don't call her mom. A few moments later, after the smackdown between Kim Gongja and Yoo Soo-ha, they sat at the dining table, both beaten up. Lavielle Ivancia spoke, I know I may have crossed a line, but I took care of my brother-in-law's incident. Things like this need to be handled early, or you'll have to wait for time to bury it. Normally, the latter is preferred, but I was on time this time around. Kim Gongja thought to himself while looking at Lavielle Ivancia's hands. Her hands are so pretty. Lavielle Ivancia continued, Nothing has happened legally as a consequence yet, and the concert is planned for 10 days later. So Baekyang said, I'm a little taken aback. I know you're willing to do things for Gongja, but as you already know, Gongja and Soo-ha are not on good terms. What reason did you have to help Soo-ha by using your family's authority? Lavielle Ivancia responded, I just wanted to show you two. So Baekyang interrupted, Show us what? Lavielle Ivancia said, I believe that you two are underestimating our love. Perhaps you see it as just a wealthy girl's fling, a school romance. Whether you think of it in a negative or positive way, I assume that is how you have judged our relationship. However, I plan to think of you as my family. Of course, there are some in my family who are against this relationship, but I'm willing to crush those voices. As So Baekyang and the Sword Emperor listened, Yoo Soo-ha, barely conscious, opened his eyes. Lavielle Ivancia held Kim Gongja's hands and said, I took care of this incident to show you two what I am capable of, as well as my preparedness. Please allow us to get married. So Baekyang said, My son doesn't deserve you, thank you. Seems like I didn't do a terrible job raising him. Yoo Soo-ha exclaimed, Holy shit, then are we going to be in-laws with billionaires? Wah, I'm gonna retire. Hey, sis-in-law, could you help us debut in China? Lavielle Ivancia cut him off. If you get into trouble again, I'm erasing you from the family register, Soo-ha. Yoo Soo-ha, confused, said, Eh? La Vieille Evancia added, "No, that won't do. Go to the person you assaulted and beg for their forgiveness. I won't consider you my son until you do so." Yu Su-ha stammered, "Mom?" Kim Gongja thought to himself, "Home, parents." The Sword Emperor laughed, "Ha ha ha ha. Looks like I'll have to get you a suit." Kim Gongja thought again, "Things I did not have. Why?" So Baikyang asked, "Did you do the math homework?" Yu Su-ha panicked, "We had homework." Kim Gongja thought to himself, "Why is this the Constellation Killer's trauma?" A student asked, "We have a quiz today, right?" Suddenly the demonic generals greeted Kim Gongja, "Good morning." Kim Gongja, confused, said, "The 4 demonic generals." The spirit flame demon said, "Huh? We're the 4 heavenly kings of Shinseo Middle and High School." Kim Gongja thought, "What the hell? Are you telling me the 4 demonic generals are bullies in this world?" The sword demon said, "Hey guys, what's the point of being bullies? You should focus on your studies instead. No, screw that. Just give up bullying. We've been good recently." A girl stood terrified in the back. The sword demon continued, "You've been telling us to calm down ever since you started dating the queen. We gave up all our errand boys and girls because of that." Kim Gongja said, "You guys call Lavielle the queen? What the hell? Don't make it seem like doing the bare minimum is praiseworthy. And what's with the 4 heavenly kings nickname?" The sword demon replied nervously, "You're scaring us." A few moments later, in the classroom, Liao Fan said to Anastasia, "Arms straight," she said, "Bow to the teacher." "Hello," Liao Fan said, "Yo," as he took out a plastic crate. He tossed it to Anastasia and said, "Class rep, collect all the phones." She replied, "Okay." Liao Fan warned, "If any of you try to hide yours, you're dead meat. You understand?" Kim Gongja grinned in anger and thought to himself, "Viper is the teacher." As Anastasia collected the phones, she asked Paladin, "It's turned off, right?" She placed her phone in the crate and said, "Yeah." Kim Gongja stared at them and thought, a holy knight giving up his phone to the Black Dragon leader. What a scene to behold. As Anastasia walked past Kim Gongja, he hesitated before saying, "Here, class rep." Anastasia said, "What?" Kim Gongja said, "You didn't take my phone." She looked back at Kim Gongja and said, "Looks like the queen has made a man out of you." Kim Gongja was confused. Liao Fan suddenly shouted, "Wow, I've never seen Kim Gongja turn in his phone. Everyone, look, all you need to fix a person is love. You should all look for your own love once you get to college." Paladin said, "Kim Gongja said he's gonna go to Seoul University. He was serious too." Nisha said, "Huh, that's weird. He told me he's going to Oxford. He said the student council president was going overseas to study, so he's going to follow her no matter what." Liao Fan said, "So his backup college is Seoul University, and Oxford is where he really wants to go. Wow, Kim Gongja, you're a man of high standards." As Anastasia placed the crate on Liao Fan's table, Nisha said, "Be careful, class rep. He might steal the first place position in class from you." Anastasia said, "That's none of your business." Kim Gongja thought to himself, "This feels strange. Everyone's wearing uniforms, but I know them all. Except for one person. That kid is." Suddenly, the master alchemist peeked into the classroom and said, Excuse me. Your first class is math. Would it be okay if I begin?" The students responded, "Yeah." Kim Gongja thought to himself, "I'm not even surprised anymore." Master alchemist said, "We're beginning a new unit today." A few hours later, outside, a kid called out, "Gongja, why are you always just studying nowadays? Play with us." The hungry maiden said, "Let's play soccer." Kim Gongja rubbed his head and said, "Yeah, let's play." As they started playing, he thought to himself, "I don't get it. Now I'm going on watch from a distance." Kim Gongja continued thinking, why is this traumatic for him? Everyone's alive. The guardian ghost isn't a ghost here either. Master is alive. The Flame Emperor's shitty personality hasn't changed, but he's alive as a whiny son too. Even the hungry demon and Lady Golden Flower. Doesn't this seem cozy and happy? What part of this world is hell to him? Suddenly, Lavielle Avancia called out, "There you are, boyfriend. You seem worried. I was wondering what you were up to since you weren't answering my messages." Kim Gongja blushed. Lavielle Avancia said, "It's not good to make your partner worry." Kim Gongja took out his phone. Sorry. I forgot to turn it back on after getting it back. I just have a lot on my mind right now." Lavielle Avancia kissed him and said, "What could that be?" "It would be nice if I was the only thing on your mind." Kim Gongja hesitated. "Lavielle, do you know my parents' names?" Lavielle Avancia replied, "Of course. Your mother's name is So Baikyang, and your father is." Kim Gongja thought to himself, of course. "It's because I don't know the guardian ghost's real name." Lavielle Avancia looked at him in confusion. "Babe?" Kim Gongja thought, if this was a dream, There is no way something I don't know would be applied here. Even when I checked the student attendance list during break, I couldn't read most of the names, including the guild leaders. Kim Gonja said, Lavielle, this might be sudden, but I feel a little anxious. You are the daughter of a wealthy family. Logically, there is no way you would want to be with someone like me. Lavielle Evancia looked worried. Your words are making me anxious. What are you talking about? Kim Gonja held her soft, delicate hands. Well, perhaps this is all. Suddenly, his phone rang. As he looked at the screen, a message appeared. You killed me. Don't forget that. You are the one who killed me. The sender was Kim. Suddenly, a woman screamed, Ah! Kim Gonja and Lavielle Evancia ran toward the commotion. A girl pointed. Look over there. Her friend stammered. What should we do? Shouldn't we call a teacher? Another girl asked. What is he trying to do? I don't know. It looks like he's going to kill himself. What do we do? Someone call a teacher. Lavielle Evancia gasped. Ah, this isn't good, Gonja. Call 119. I'm going up there to try and change his mind. She ran into the building. Kim Gonja, panicking, muttered, Oh, 119, 119, as he frantically pressed the buttons on his phone. Suddenly, a phone fell to the ground. As he finished dialing the emergency number, he looked up. Lafanta Agim stood at the edge of the building. He muttered one word, Die. Kim Gonja's eyes widened. That bastard's out of his mind. The crowd panicked. A girl screamed, Ah! A boy's voice cracked from puberty as he yelled, Yui! Another girl shouted, Teacher! Teacher! Few moments later, a student took a picture. Click. Kim Gonja turned, his anger rising. Don't take pictures. The students ignored him and kept taking photos. What are you all doing? Stop taking pictures. I said stop. I told you to fucking quit it. Stop. Stop looking. His phone vibrated. Another message appeared. You killed me. Don't forget that. You're the one who killed me. Lavielle Evancia's voice rang from above. But Gonja, you were the one who killed him. A few moments later, Marcus addressed the public. As you all know, there was a rather unfortunate incident lately. But I trust you all. A girl applied makeup while speaking. Did you see the message he sent? Isn't that insane? Her friend nodded. Right? He was always a strange kid, though. The Sword Emperor said, Don't mind the kids talking badly about it. They're just cowards who would never say anything to your face. Yu Su-ha added, Yeah, fights are bound to happen in life sometimes, you know? It wasn't even that big of a deal. Why did he kill himself because of it? That's some attention-seeking kind of shit. Hey, call the 4 heavenly kings over. I want to game. Liao Fan said, Yeah, I'm grieving too, I am, but this is a very important time for all of you. Once you're in your 3rd year, time will pass like nothing. Your future will basically be decided this year, so really think hard about your priorities. Anastasia said, I understand, as she glanced at Lafanta Agim's table. A system notification appeared. Repeating trauma. Penalty level is high. Animal realm. The school speakers crackled to life. Attention, students still on campus. There have been sightings of students staying behind even after school hours. Please leave the campus if you have not signed up for the evening study program. The Heresy Inquisitor groaned. Hey, get up! They're telling us to go home. Suddenly, Kim Gonja stood up. The Heresy Inquisitor flinched. Ah, Kim Gonja thought to himself, I get it now. This is definitely the trauma of the constellation killer, Lafanta Agim. It's just that. The Heresy Inquisitor scolded, You can't run in the hallways. Kim Gonja kept thinking, my memories have been layered over his nightmare like a skin in a game. The same situations, the same roles, the role I was given, damn it. He sprinted toward the rooftop, then suddenly stopped. Lafanta Agim stood at the fire exit. Kim Gonja narrowed his eyes. You, he thought to himself, is to be the perpetrator. Kim Gonja asked, Why are you bowing to your fellow classmate? Lafanta Agim blinked. Sorry? Kim Gonja held out his hand. Your phone. Pass it over for a second, please. Lafanta Agim hesitated, then handed it to him. Kim Gonja flipped it open. 47 unread messages. One message read, I feel so bad for the junior students of our school, TT. They have to call you their senior. Have you ever considered their feelings? Another, Hey, are you ignoring me? TT. Another, Shocker. There's a student in school who doesn't wash his uniform. Another, I saw how fucking happy you were when I greeted you that one time in the hallway. LOL. It was embarrassing though. I was only doing it because of a bet. Don't think of me as your friend, TT. Another, lives in the school trash yard. He recycles all of his uniforms and shoes too. But the one thing that cannot be recycled, another, see you after class, LOL. Kim Gonja snapped the Motorola Razr shut. Why? Do you even bring your phone around? He asked. Just don't carry it with you. Lafanta Agim stared at him silently. Then he said, "You said you were going to kill me if I didn't." Kim Gonja sighed. "Then just throw it out. There's nothing anyone can do if you just say you lost it." Lafanta Agim shook his head. "This is a phone you gave me. It's your old phone. My family is poor. You even pay for the fees. You said that, in return, I have to come whenever called. You said you'd kill me if I lost it too. Can I really throw it out?" A few moments later, "I'm sorry, Laviel," Kim Gonja said. "I don't think I can go home with you today." Laviel Avangia smiled slightly. "You're so mysterious sometimes. I find it impressive, though. Do as you wish. Is there anything I can help with, perhaps?" Kim Gonja shook his head. "Not yet, but if there is, I'll let you know right away." Laviel kissed his forehead gently. "I believe you, always." Kim Gonja turned to Lafanta Agim. "Let's go." Lafanta Agim looked wary. "Where to?" Kim Gonja thought to himself, "I don't know where to start untangling this mess, but I need to do something different in order to end this trauma. First, I'll start with the things I can do. Your house." In the past, a boy muttered, "The director half-asses things too much. Our birthdays are all on January 1st, too." Their friend, Kim Hanbiya, sipped his bottle of Yakult and said, "He's just too lazy to have multiple birthday parties." Another friend frowned. "And what's with our names? What the heck is Kim Manga?" Kim Hanbiya shrugged. "Hey, at least having the last name Kim makes it sound a bit more natural for you guys. I'm Kim Hanbiya. Should have just gone with Hanbiya." Kim Gonja thought to himself, "I've been thinking about this for a long time." Out loud, he said, "I think the director just doesn't care." But as he formed relationships while climbing the tower, his thoughts shifted. Maybe his attitude wasn't exactly indifference. A few years later, Kim Gonja asked, "Why are you like this, director?" He thought to himself, "I think he was always being careful not to love us excessively." "Do you not love us?" he asked. The director simply responded, "Just wait, one day." That was always his answer whenever he was asked a serious question. The director sighed. "You asked me yesterday why I don't love you guys a bit more." "Yes," Kim Gonja replied hesitantly. The director looked at him. "Gonja, it's easy for people to try and appear impressive, to pretend to be smart, strong, kind, to act like they genuinely know something. Everyone wears a mask. And while there isn't necessarily a need to take it off, if you get too used to it, one day you'll forget you're even wearing one. That's what it means to get intoxicated. Think about it. If I showed my annoyance in front of you guys, what would you think?" Kim Gonja answered, "The director must be stressed today." "Exactly." The director nodded. "I'm someone who sometimes gets annoyed at you. You all know that very well. But do you get it? You know me for who I am. But what if I were someone who always said, 'I love you. You are the apples of my eye. I treasure nothing more than you'? What if I always hugged you and showered you with affection? And then one day, I got annoyed at you? How would you feel?" Kim Gonja stayed silent. The director continued, "You would think, why is the director getting mad at us? He said he loves us the most. Maybe we did something wrong. Even if I only got mad once a year, Gonja, that would be 10 times in 10 years. Even if you only remembered half of those moments, that would still be 5 times. And those 5 memories would be enough to shape someone's character. That's why. Remember me as someone who gets annoyed easily. Someone too lazy to even throw a birthday party. Because that's the truth. Don't blame yourselves. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't let someone like me twist your perception of yourselves. You can become tougher. I hope you grow into strong people." Kim Gonja stared at the wall. A framed oath hung there. Social worker oath. "So that everyone can live a beautiful life, with the foundation of human dignity, justice, and faith in society, I will work with individuals, families, organizations, groups, communities, and the greater society. I will always stand by those who are isolated and in pain. I will protect their rights and interests, reject the injustices and negativity of society, and prioritize public benefits over personal gain. I will abide by the social worker's code of ethics and dedicate myself to being an ethical and responsible social worker. I swear on my free will and honor to carry this out." In a different scene, Kim Gonja said, "Your house." Kim Gonja's thoughts, he thought to himself. Since the difficulty level of the trauma has increased, did it transform into a system where I have to resolve the trauma itself? If so, I want to find and meet the Constellation Killer's parents first, and apologize. Kim Gonja tightened his grip on Lafanta Agim's wrist. Lafanta Agim simply said, "Okay." At Lafanta Agim's house a few moments later, they arrived at Lafanta Agim's home. "Here, my house," Lafanta Agim muttered. The surroundings were filled with garbage. Kim Gonja glanced at Lafanta Agim's phone screen. A message read, "Lives in a dump. His indoor shoes and clothes are all recycled. The only thing that isn't recyclable trash. Kim Gongja asked, "What about your parents? Are they at work?" Lafanta Agim replied, "Father collects junk and sells it." "What about your mother?" Kim Gongja asked hesitantly. "I don't have one." Suddenly, a Jiangshi appeared. Staring blankly at Kim Gongja, he asked, "Are you Lafanta Agim's friend?" Kim Gongja shook his head. "No, I'm not." The Jiangshi frowned slightly. Kim Gongja took a deep breath. "I am the person who hit and bullied this child." The Jiangshi looked away. Kim Gongja thought to himself, it's too late. He doesn't even have a wick left on his heart to burn. As the Jiangshi started walking away, Kim Gongja hurriedly spoke. "Here's the evidence. If you look at my phone, you'll see the texts and..." He held out his phone. The Jiangshi glanced at it and said, "I see." Kim Gongja thought, this man does not have the power to take responsibility for the constellation killer. Taking a deep breath, he said, "I apologize. If you're okay with it, I'd like to take care of your child for the time being. I want to invite him to my place. Would that be all right?" The Jiangshi nodded indifferently. "Sure." Kim Gongja turned to Lafanta Agim. "Let's go. You heard him. Take what you need since you'll be staying at my place for a while." Lafanta Agim stood still. Kim Gongja asked, "What are you doing?" Lafanta Agim scoffed. "Since you're about to marry a rich girl, you're trying to clean up your past? Thinking there might be issues later? Smart." His voice turned sharp. "Or is this some new kind of play for you? If you want to play, just say so." "Should we go to the school field at night?" Kim Gongja was stunned. He lowered his head. "I'm sorry," Lafanta Agim sneered. "You've truly gone crazy, Kim Gongja. Just give me one day. Please, I'll do anything. Just endure for one more day." Kim Gongja thought to himself, it was just one more day out of the countless days I had left. But for the person in front of me, it was their last day. Lafanta Agim sighed. "Whatever, do as you please." Kim Gongja clenched his fists. "There's nothing I can do except beg and ask." At sunset, Kim Gongja stopped. "Please wait here for a moment." Lafanta Agim rolled his eyes. "Do what you want," I said. Ignoring him, Kim Gongja walked forward. "I'm back," he said. Sword Emperor turned to him. "You're home, son?" Kim Gongja thought to himself, the Sword Emperor, my partner. He's the one who taught me how to look forward. But in this world, he's my father. Sword Emperor looked puzzled. Oh, that's strange. It feels weird hearing you call me that. Not just weird. Awkward enough that it's giving me goosebumps. Are you drunk?" Kim Gongja shook his head. "Father." Sword Emperor blinked. "There's no way you raised me like this," Kim Gongja continued. "The father I know is impressive and terrifying. Sometimes you seem like a psychopath who only cares about himself. But you do know how to stand firm when you think, this isn't right. If you were truly my father, I never would have grown up like this. I never would have turned into a bully. Even if you left me half dead, you would have dragged me back onto the right path. And you would never have said that if I was bullying a weaker child." Kim Gongja remembered Sword Emperor's past words. There are a lot of bastards saying shit about that. Just ignore them. Kim Gongja clenched his jaw. "There's no way you would affectionately call someone like me your son. It's impossible. You are someone who swore to teach those who suffer how to find happiness. You are not the Sword Emperor." His voice grew cold. "Get out of my sight right now." The image of Sword Emperor flickered, and then it disappeared. Kim Gongja exhaled shakily. This is the true face of this world. As So Bakyang writes in her notebook, Kim Gongja approaches her. Kim Gongja said, "Master," and then he corrected himself, saying, "Mother." So Bakyang looks back, and he said to himself, by some strange fate. So Bakyang said, "How strange. It has been so long since you called me that." And he said to himself, "You became my master." So Bakyang looks back at her notes and said, "No, I cannot say that. You," Kim Gongja said, "I love you, mother. I wanted to see you again. There is someone I can love forever now. I did not know it was possible to love someone genuinely and to be loved in return. I wanted to introduce Lavielle to you before anyone else. I am sure you would have been a great friend to Lavielle. I am alive. I am trying to live the best life that I can too. And I think about the things you taught me often. I wanted to see you again." So Bakyang stood up and touched Kim Gongja's face and said, "Did you have a nightmare?" Kim Gongja said, "I am in one right now." So Bakyang said, "Life is no different from a dream. My son, do not be fooled by shallow words. Look into your heart whenever you can. No matter what name you call me by, I will stay as myself in your heart. The same goes for you, too." As they hugged each other, So Bakyang said, "Words are not what make a person. a person's worth is measured by the importance of those they hold dear. Kim Gonja cried and said, "There is no way you raised Yu Suha like that." So Bakyong said, "Yes." Kim Gonja said, "There is no way you would make dinner for someone who would resort to violence to resolve his anger. You would have kicked him out and taught him to be better than that before doing it too. Actually, you would have raised him to be a good kid in the first place." So Bakyong said, "Yes." Kim Gonja said, "So, you are not so Bakyong." So Bakyong said, "Live Gonja, live strong." As she slowly disappeared, she said, "Ew." Kim Gonja ran to the toilet. She vomited as Yu Suha said, "Did you get food poisoning? This is why I told you to watch what you eat. Do you want me to pat you on the back?" Kim Gonja looked back at him and said, "Yu Suha." Yu Suha said, "Did you throw up your brain too? That is not how you should address your older brother." Kim Gonja said, "You are one messed up piece of shit." Yu Suha, confused, said, "What?" Kim Gonja said, "Idol? Singer? Do you think you can handle a job like that, you fucking psychopath? You are not the type to pat your brother's back because he is throwing up." As he held Yu Suha's shoulder, he said, If you were that kind of guy, I would not have killed you." Kim Gonja said to himself, "Sometimes I have this dream." As Kim Gonja remembered that day, he said to Yu Suha, "Excuse me, but please help. I was attacked by wolves. Please, just a potion." Kim Gonja said to himself, "I am the one who says that." As Yu Suha said, "Be careful next time then, for fuck's sake. I will not be able to get my fill for the day," Kim Gonja said to himself. And then Yu Suha says that, handing me a potion. A dream where I do not have to kill someone who was once my hero because the Yu Suha 11 years ago was still a good guy. Kim Gonja said, "You fucker, the place you belong is in my shadow. Do not even think about trying to launder your identity by moving to this hell." Kim Gonja said to himself, "This is not my home." Kim Gonja opened the door and said, "Come in." Kim Gonja said to himself, "This is not my world." As Lafanta Agim said, "Hello," while Kim Gonja dragged Lafanta Agim, he said, "Do not say hi to them. Ignore them even if they say something to you." Kim Gonja said to himself, "He is not surprised by the appearance of my family." Kim Gonja said, "This is my room. You can stay here for a while." Kim Gonja said to himself, perhaps to the constellation killer, "They always looked like spirits." Kim Gonja said, "If my parents or brother try to come in, do not open the door for them." Lafanta Egim said, "Stop talking to me so politely. It is weird and unpleasant. I do not know why you are doing all this. It is like you are scheming something." Kim Gonja said, "I do not care if that is what you think," as he closed the door. Esther said, "Hello? Huh? You are Suha's brother?" Kim Gonja said, "You are not an idol." A system notification said, "The reality factor of the trauma has decreased." A system notification said, "The files cannot be recovered." Liao Fan said, That is strange. It is rare to see you in the teacher's office." A system notification said, "Extracting damaged files from your memories." A system notification said, "Extracting damaged files from the natives." A system notification said, "Requesting files from Shrakua." As Master Alchemist said, "Gonja, why did you want to see me in an empty classroom?" A system notification said, "Failed." Marcus Kalenberry said, "I heard from the Student Council President that you wish to see me. What did you want to talk to me about?" Hellfire Maiden said, "Gonja, let's play soccer." A system notification said, "The reality of the trauma has decreased." A person whom Kim Gonja did not recognize said to him, "Dear Gonja." Kim Gonja was confused. He said to himself, "This is the constellation killer's world. The reality factor of the trauma has decreased." And then he said, "Laviel." As he stared at her, Raviel Evancia said, "Yes, I did feel that something was off. The fact that I insisted you call me Laviel, and the strange compulsive feeling that I have to be called by that name. More importantly, I cannot recall how you and I met. You confessed to me at last year's school festival, and that is how we began dating. However, I question whether that is the truth. Our love is not something like that. Our love is not so casual." Kim Gonja held Raviel Evancia's soft hands, and she said, "Kiss me right now." And they passionately kissed. Raviel Evancia said, "My heart is beating. There is no falsehood in my love. It is not just because of your looks and your eloquence that I love you this much. Shinseo Middle and High School's best couple in history? As if. We are the universe's best couple." Kim Gonja said, "Yes, if my love is not fake, then my memories must have been twisted. Either this is a dream or an illusion." Raviel Evancia said, "Gonja, am I dreaming of you, or are you dreaming of me?" Kim Gonja said, "I am dreaming of you. I am the only person you love." Raviel Evancia said, "Yes." Kim Gonja said, even if this is just a dream, I am the only one with the right to love and be loved by you. Raviel Ivanzia said, you are right, I praise you, my lover, you are very good at loving me. Now, close your eyes, do not open them no matter what. Call my name. Do you understand? I will be mad if you open your eyes. Kim Gonja said, Laviel Ivanzia, my beloved. He thought to himself, she does not want me to see her broken self. A system notification said, the reality factor of the trauma has decreased. Kim Gonja thought to himself, that is Ivanzia's way. Now, what is left is... He looked at Lafanta Agim feeding his rabbits. Kim Gonja said, come with me, there is no time. You did not go home? Kim Gonja grabbed Lafanta Agim's wrist. Lafanta Agim said, hey, wait. Kim Gonja pulled him. Lafanta Agim said, hey, what is wrong? Where are we going? Kim Gonja said, somewhere you can have a better life. Lafanta Agim said, I do not know what you are talking about. Do you know that you have been acting really strange lately? What are you so scared of? You were never the type to actually put effort into things. Kim Gonja said, I promised someone that I would give my all in life no matter what happens. My master continued to fight even when the world ended. My lover continued to protect her nation even when she was stuck in a loop. I am trying hard now because I want to stay with people like them. Lafanta Agim, confused, said, Master, a teacher, what are you talking about? Kim Gonja said, there was someone who continued to devote his life to a cause he believed was right, even though it meant he would have to throw away parts of himself. As they walked past Anastasia, she looked at the men's room and muttered, is this the place? Kim Gonja thought to himself, the last person whom I have yet to break down. He grabbed her delicate wrist. She was shocked and confused. Kim Gonja said, you come along too. You cannot be here right now. A system notification said, warning. A system notification said, the reality factor of the trauma has decreased. A system notification said, the trauma cannot be maintained. Anastasia said, Kim Gonja, what? Hey, where are we going? Lafanta Agim said, I feel nauseous. As Kim Gonja opened the fire exit, sparks came out. Anastasia said, well, wait, it is against the school rules to come up here. Kim Gonja said, it will be fine for a while. Anastasia said, what? Do you not know how strict our school is with this rule, especially after what happened last year? If the teachers find out that we are up here, my school records. She broke down on the rooftop. Kim Gonja thought to himself, now, only 3 people remain in this trauma. He said, class rep, you knew what was going on in our class, did you not? Kim Gonja was the culprit. Lafanta Agim was the victim. Anastasia said, so? She looked back and said, is there something you want to say to me? Kim Gonja thought to himself, bystander. Anastasia said, it is all because of you. You called him the second biggest loser in the school. You are the one who laughed at him and called him names, Kim Gonja. Whatever. I do not want to talk to you about this. I would have just gone to a different school if I had known such a thing would happen. You are responsible for the things that happen in class rep. So what? The bullying was my fault? That is amazing. So it was true that you were going around with... The teachers were all praising you, saying that you have changed and that you are a better person now. That is great. You can just hurt people and apologize, then bam, it is like nothing ever happened. It is not like you only bullied him once or twice. Not everything is a mistake or a prank. Does the world look like some junkyard meant to accept all your mistakes? Do not try to pin this on me. Do not bring me to this place with, you want me to apologize. I know. I did not do anything wrong. You were the one who did all the bullying. That's not what you truly think, Kim Gonja said to himself. When the constellation killer took his own life, everyone avoided the elephant in the room. Did you see the stupid message he sent? Anastasia asked. People said the constellation killer was the one who had lost his mind. That we were the ones in the right. Think about your priorities, Liao Fan added. There were times when we laughed at him, but did that really mean anything? Okay, Anastasia muttered. We didn't do anything wrong. But then there was the message, you killed me. Don't forget that. You are the one who killed me. Except for one person. Anastasia was frozen, staring at the message. When everyone refused to see the reality of things, a lone bystander remained silent. I tried to stop it during our first year, Anastasia admitted. I saw all kinds of things because of you guys. Do you know that our school is affiliated with Seryun Academy? Your girlfriend's parents are on the academy's executive board, Kim Gonja, the senior pastor of the Seryun Church too. That's the church my family goes to. I see him every weekend. You bullied him without knowing any of that, didn't you? Why did I have to realize all this because of something you guys did? Please just stop. We're taking the most important exam of our lives next year. I've only been getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day to study. I got in here on a grant, like, you guys may just be enjoying your youth. Being evil is easy, Kim Gongja thought to himself. But I don't understand why you're bullying others, Anastasia shouted. But being good is impossible. I am desperate here. Did you know that our class teacher is the representative of the committee that chooses grants for second years? Damn it. I talked to our teacher and I'm sick of it all. Of you guys. Our teacher. This cess school, she kicked Kim Gongja. I'm sorry, Kim Gongja said. Don't apologize, you fucker, he screamed at himself in his mind. Don't apologize. Just keep being a piece of shit and die like that. I hope we never see each other again once we graduate. As she raised her hand to slap him, Kim Gongja suddenly spoke. He tried to kill himself. Anastasia stopped. She turned to look at him. A month ago. Here, Kim Gongja said. Are you serious? Anastasia asked. Yeah, Lafanta Agim answered. Although I don't know how he knew. I didn't know you felt like that, she muttered. I'm not sorry. Anastasia clutched her head. I'm not sorry. During our first year, I saw the executive board of this school and realized that nothing was going to change. So I gave up. I brought up the issue to our class teacher once, and then gave up again. That's just the kind of person I am. Just remember me as that kind of person. But don't die. You shouldn't die because of these shitheads. You should live. Live. Get into a good university. Earn money. Get out of this fucked up city. I thought about doing that too, Lafanta Agim said. But I felt like if I had done that, those bastards would just forget. I wanted to ruin their lives, no matter what it took. Anastasia collapsed to her knees. Lafanta Agim held on to her. Sorry, he whispered. I didn't mean to hurt someone like you. He hugged her. I'm glad that I didn't die the last time. I'm glad there's at least one person I can forgive. Anastasia sobbed. I'm sorry. Please don't die. She stood up. Please don't die because of those bastards. Live. I will try harder. So together, a system notification appeared. The reality factor of the trauma has decreased. Kim Gongja was stunned. Anastasia had become Lafanta Agim's friend. Lafanta Agim smiled and said, let's live for the sake of other unfortunate kids. He remembered his father. His friend continued, let's get into university first. We will go into social welfare. We can go to another city and get our certificates. Then, others won't be able to harass us. We will graduate and help other kids. It might be hard alone, but if there are more of us, I'm sure anything is possible. This world isn't all there is. We can make our own world. Lafanta Agim chuckled. I don't think we'll earn much money from that. His friend grinned. We won't. It sounds hard. I heard it's really hard. Lafanta Agim sighed. But I think it'll be better than what we're going through now. I stopped studying after the second semester last year. It'll be a bit hard. It's okay, his friend reassured him. It's not too late yet. It's never too late. Okay. They stood up. His friend took his hand. Let's survive together in this world. A system notification appeared. Trauma ended. Kim Gongja woke up. Penalties have been rescinded. Please pick a skill card. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.